Good afternoon. This is Luis Lopez here with my professional development research presentation. I'm gonna, first of all, I want to give you a background of my school, a short background on my school, because my situation I know is different from most of you out there. First of all, I work at the Real Academy. Real Academy is a computer-based program here in Polk County District. In this program, we get students that are falling behind 2 or more years, and they can make up for those 2 years in one. So they can do 2 school years in one. Now, the reason why I say we have a special situation is because our school is divided in 3 campuses. We have the Lakeland campus, which is our main campus, and that's where all where the head principal and his officers are. Uh, we have the Avondale campus. That's where I work, and we work from Avondale High School grounds, and we also have Davenport. Now, there's a difference between the three because Davenport and Lakeland they both have their own facilities. They have their own grounds. Okay, they have their own buildings. And Avondale, our campus. We work from Avondale High School. We have we have one building at Avondale High School, but we operate depending on their schedule. Now, I want to talk about the needs we have. I had to tell you that because there's some needs that are connected with that situation. Now, the needs of our school are professional development, facilities, scheduling, resources, supporting staff, student motivation, and parent involvement. Okay, and I'm pretty sure that some of those are similar for all of us. But let me start. That's my list. Now I'm gonna give you the findings. When I was speaking to the principal, and I want to be clear. Some of the first four I came up with those, but then when I sat down with my principal, he gave me the other three. I want to start with the professional development. That's a need that is also similar for all of us. The only professional development that we've taken is the same that everybody else have taken. So we haven't taken any professional development training that is different from everybody else's. What everybody else is doing, the little we only got that little back to school meeting, and then a couple of emails, and that's it. So we are in need of professional development, but we also need time. We need time for that professional development. We all know that with the hurricane, things got a little bit they cut off times, they cut off days. So, but we need professional development. Now, when it comes to our school, the reason why I list that as a need is because in our school, like I said, we have a computer program. So we need professional development and training that has to do with technology in the classroom. Okay, so that, I think, for me, that's the most important part. We need training that will help us integrate, that will show us how to integrate technology in the classroom. And I know that most of us have taken I've taken courses or training that has to do with integrating technology into the classroom, but the technology changes. So we need to give, and we need to refresh our minds, our knowledge. So I think that we need we need those kinds of training, and we need training when it comes to time management in the classroom. Okay, we're trying to integrate courses, like actual classes, with the computer classes that they take. And so but we need training that will help us integrate those, both of those, and we also need, like I said, time management in the classroom training. Okay, that's something we sometimes you look back, and you realize that you wasted time. So we need to know how to manage time correctly in the classroom. Now the other one of the other needs is supporting staff. Supporting staff. Like I said, we don't have our own facilities. Now, if you go to Lakeland and Davenport, since they have their own facilities, they will have secretaries. They will have an orientator. They will have cafeteria personnel. We don't even have a secretary. So, for example, if you call our campus, and the principal and the assistant principal is in a meeting with the principal from Avondale High School, or if he's dealing with a behavioral issue or something like that, you're not gonna get an answer from our office. I forgot to mention that since we are 3 different campuses, and the main one is in Lakeland, the head principal, okay, we have a head principal, and then every campus has an AP running the campus. So we only have one assistant principal, and he has to deal with all kinds of issues, academical issues and behavioral issues and medical, and all those administrative issues that principals have to deal with. He's doing it by himself. So if he has to divide, he has to manage time, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you're trying to get him because you're having a disciplinary issue in the classroom, and he's all the way he's 500 meters away in the office, in Avondale High School's office, dealing with a medical issue, or dealing with or talking to a parent, okay, or welcoming a parent. Because whenever, if a parent visits us, they have to go through the main office in Avondale High School. They call him, and he goes and he goes and meet them in the office and score them to our building. So supporting staff, we need supporting staff. We need a secretary. Right now we do have an orientator, but she has to go to the 3 different campuses. So she's only with us for 2 days. The same thing with the test administrator. She's only with us for 2-3 days a week. So and we don't have a social worker. So our assistant principal has to talk. He talked to AHS, and now the social workers from Avondale High School are giving us that support. Okay, but so we need supporting staff. We need people that are there for us to help us with the daily situations that we run into. And talking about facilities, about moving around, that's another one of the needs. Facilities. The reason why we need facilities is because we need our own facilities. For example, schedule. When it comes to scheduling, since we work from AHS, we don't want our students mixing up with Avondale High School students. So we have to we have we already talked to them, so they will have breakfast at one time, and then we will have breakfast at a later time. The same with lunch. They will eat lunch, and then at a later time, like an hour after, we will have our lunch. So we're getting, when it comes to facilities, that's one of the issues that come to my mind. The scheduling. So we need our own facilities in order for us to take our own decisions when it comes to moving around. Because, for example, let me give you the example, and that I have that example in one of the assignments where the high school had a fire drill, and we have to participate from those. But when they told our principal, the fire drill was at the same time that we had lunch. So our principal had to go to the cafeteria, talk to the manager in the cafeteria to change the time, and for us to go earlier at an earlier time to lunch to be able to participate in the fire drill. So that's one of the things, that having our own facilities will help, schedule. And talking about scheduling, like I mentioned, we have students that are falling behind 2 years or more. So their needs are different. Some of our students need to work in language arts. That's where they're falling behind, or they may be falling behind on math, or they're falling behind on science. So we have to look at those schedules and to be able to give them what they need to succeed and get back into track and go back to their home schools. We need to be careful. But the problem is that if we were to accommodate the students in the schedules that they're supposed to have, we will have classrooms where with 30 or more students, and some others with 4 or less students. And when I was looking at the schedules of the schedules at the beginning of the years, that was happening in my course. I had some sections where I had 30 or more students, and I had another section where I only had 2. So that's something that we are trying to work on, the schedule. And sometimes it's a little bit tricky, because we don't want to have 10 graders with 6th graders, because we do have 6th graders or students that are taking 6th grade courses. So we're trying to work the schedule the best we can to give them what they need, but we still need to do more. And the good thing about the schedule is, since we have a computer-based program and they work independently, we can, it's easier to accommodate. So we're doing 6th and 7th graders, and maybe 8 and 9, or 9 and 10. So we're trying to work that out, but we're still having some issues when it comes to scheduling. So we need to work on those. And then logistics. Like I said, we have 3 different campuses. Paper, if we need paper, ink, if we need copiers, if we need pencils, if we need materials to do our work, we have to call Lakeland and ask them to send materials to our school. For example, last year what I did, I used the funds that the county gave me, and I bought my materials. But then I had to wait for the materials, and the materials will be mailed to Lakeland. So I will still have to wait for the materials to get to Lakeland and then to me. So logistics, we need to work on that. That's why we need the facility. I think that the most important need is facilities. And And I think some of the other issues will be fixed, like for example logistics. And then the two most important, I think, are the student motivation and parent involvement. When it comes to student motivation, we need to create a culture of apathy. We know that our students are falling behind. They know it too. They're falling behind, so they don't need us, uh, reminding them that they're failing. And unfortunately, we have some adults doing that. So using that kind of motivation, you're failing, you need to get back into track. No, so the principal was talking to me, telling me about meet with us, and every time he meet with us, that's one of the things that he mentions, that we need to be careful with what we say or what we do, and we need to do whatever we can to help them get back into track, get those 2 school grades or 2 school years, and get back to the home schools. But we need to do it with apathy. We need to do it with sensitivity. Now, we can be firm, but we can also be sensitive, or be sensible. So we need to, the principal is always telling us, they already know they're falling behind. But what are we going to do about it? How are we going to get them to that next level? So that's something we need to work on too. And parent involvement. Most of this, the reality nowadays is that whenever you see a student falling behind, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the times, is because the parents are not there. And that's our case. We have our open house, our back to school open house. Only 5 parents came in, and that's very sad. Only 5 parents came in. So we were trying to do whatever we can to get them involved. We call them, we email them, we send them the report cards, and we follow up by calling them, give them a follow-up call. And so we're trying hard to get them involved, and through different methods: text messaging, emails, calling, and bringing them in for a face-to-face conference. So we're scheduling, we're trying to check the schedule and we're trying to get all the parents in one by one. But that's hard because we have 150 something students. So but we're trying to do it, but like the principal told me, we're functional right now. We're functional, but we're not effective. So we need to work on these needs. We need to fix some of these needs, and just try to be successful and get to that effective level. So this is my research, my professional development research. Thank you.